All right, it is time to ride the Yoto Lion. Let's go. Today we have the Yoto Lion electric family cargo bike. It has a 48 volt 20 amp hour battery putting out 960 watt hours of power. It has a 500 watt motor, but you can order it with a 750 watt motor. It has a max speed of 28 miles an hour. The Yoto Lion has a max payload of 440 pounds and says it has a range between 60 and 70 miles. It has a 26-inch front wheel and a 20-inch rear wheel. The Lion has a lightly padded passenger seat with running boards. Start out, PAS 1, gear 1. Yeah, cruising at a blazing speed of 7 miles an hour. Let's go to PAS 2. Yep, little increase. Take it up to just 7. All right, cruising just under, well, now about 12 miles an hour. Yep, let's go to PAS 3. A lot more power. Cut out at 17.7 miles an hour, so it's cruising about 17 and a half. And now let's go to PAS 4. Yeah, pretty good little jolt there. Cut out at 24 miles an hour, so it's cruising about 23 and a half. Let me get around this corner here and we'll go to PAS 5. All right, kick it in. And 4, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right. We got up to 30 miles an hour in PAS 5 in gear 7. And I was pedaling pretty fast. But if you're using this as a cargo bike or a bike to carry passengers, your kids, your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, who knows? I don't think you're going to try and be pedaling that fast to go that fast. So this is a longer bike. And the seat in the back is actually big enough for a couple people to sit on. Which is pretty nice if you have a couple kids that you want to take out somewhere, take them for a ride, take them out to your local park. They also make an accessory that you can attach to that back seat where kids will actually have a bar to hold on to, feel a little more secure. So that's good. How's this little hill climb? Yeah, 15, 6, almost 16. So it did good on that little hill. There's a couple more, a little steeper that we'll try it on. But this does come with front suspension and a suspension seat post, so that's nice. Gives you a little softer ride on the back end. And did I mention this thing has blinkers? You see right here, there's a little thing for blinkers. And instead of a dinger ringer or a dinger bell, it's got an electronic bell. Almost sounds like a motorcycle police officer's bell. I'm not sure if that's loud. That might be too loud. It might startle people if you actually come up behind them and rung it pretty hard. So I'd only use that if I really had to. Otherwise, I might just, you know, come out and tell people, hey, I'm on your left, like that. Now the riding position on this is you're pretty laid out. It's a mountain bike type position. So for me, I could see that later on I would probably get a riser for the handlebars, plus handlebars with a rise on it too. To get me in the more upright riding position. But there's some people who like this type of position. But it's just not for me. So I'd definitely be raising the handlebars up. But I don't think I would have to bring him closer to me. I think that width is fine. Just raise them up, and I think it'd be okay. Maybe get a little wider bar, you know. Might be a little more comfortable too. Now the other thing I would probably do is probably replace the seat. This is a pretty hard seat, but it's kind of typical of most e-bike manufacturers because they know that most people will probably replace the seat anyways. But it does have that suspension seat post, so you wouldn't have to buy that. Just maybe a wider seat, a little more padded, especially if you plan on using this for long rides. But so far, it is proving to be a very strong motor for a 500 watt motor. I don't think you're going to have any issues pulling cargo on this. Maybe if you're actually hitting that 440 pound limit, you might see something, but if you're carrying a passenger, a couple kids, some cargo, it's going to do it just fine. Now, you might have a little difficulty if you plan on taking that cargo up a steep hill.
Let's go back this way. Back towards Mama.
But I just wouldn't put myself in that position in the first place. And I am on gravel right now, and it's doing pretty good. Nothing weird. Now, the thing that you do need to be aware of, especially if you've ridden other e-bikes with fat tires, any size, 20 inch or 26 inch. When you go around a sharper turn on this one, the front end does feel a bit heavy. And I think that's just due to the front wheel being 26 inch and the rear wheel being a 20 inch. It's my guess. So in the mountain biking world, they would call this a mullet bike, you know? Big in the front, short in the back. What is that? All business up front and party in the back, or party in the front, business in the back? It's something like that. But I also think that 20-inch wheel has something to do with its higher top speed. Now this bike does come with a Shimano tourney derailleur and a Shimano 7-speed shifter. It also comes with this nice chain guard because it has a very long chain. You can see the extra freewheel right there to keep that chain so it doesn't have a bunch of slack and bouncing around. It also comes with this front rack that you can put a front cargo box on, which is nice. And the grips are leather ergonomic grips. And of course, it does have an electronic horn. Definitely a nice day to come out and ride. All the spring flowers are trying to bloom. Look at the purples, yellows, oranges. Really nice. Now this is a cadence sensor bike. So it looks like, let's see, how many rotations? About a half a rotation and the motor kicks in. And it's not really a hard hit. I am in PAS 5, so I will slow down here and I'll start pedaling and see how it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's nothing that's gonna toss you off the back of the bike. So not really any surprise there in power delivery that might get you in trouble. You'll just have to remember that when you're gonna pull a sharp U-turn, don't try and pedal unless you're in PAS 0. Then you might be in for a little surprise. Now the motor on this, it's not super loud, but it's probably louder than most. But I don't think it's loud enough that it would annoy anybody. All right, let's go over here on the gravel. See how this does on a gravel dirt road. Let's go throttle only. See if I find anything strange that I should tell you about. So this does have hydraulic disc brakes, and they stop you really nice. These are probably some of the better hydraulic brakes I've had or tested. The brand on them is, there, looking at them upside down. What's the brand? It's Smears. Never heard of it, but I tell you what, they are plenty strong. We'll go up here when we get back on the path and we'll do a brake test. Because if I try and do a brake test on this, all I'm going to do is skid for a while. But the front forks are doing a real good job on this gravelly stuff. No, it's not really bump and rough. No big potholes or anything, but there's gravel, there's rocks sticking out. In between the front end and the suspension seat post, it smoothed out that road pretty good. And I tell you, the quality build on these is really nice. Everything on here seems to be working in harmony with each other. When I was putting this bike together, I was looking at it and then there was no funny, why did they build it that way? That looks pretty gaudy. There's nothing on this bike that looks that way. The fit and finish is nice. The paint is almost like a flat. But I think that's the new thing that e-bike companies are doing now, the way they're painting their bikes. But this tea green looks pretty cool. All right, we're gonna come up here where there's a little straightaway away from people. And we will do a brake test. All right, let's get some speed up. And by the way, you have full power on your throttle in any gear or any PAS level you're in. So it's not limited to the PAS level that you're in. All right, are we gonna get right here at the end of this shadow? We'll hit the brakes. Look at that, look at that. I barely even locked up the front end, or the back end. Let's walk that out. So I hit the brakes at the end of this shadow right here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 35 feet, give or take a foot, for a bike this size. I think it did a pretty good job. You can see a little maybe where I started skid. Looks like it started right about here. But the front end did a lot of work. All right, let's keep going. Now, who do I think this bike is for? Of course, it's for those who are going to carry cargo. Maybe you're a prospective DoorDasher who wants to deliver by bike. Well, you got plenty of room on the back for a nice box to carry food. You've got a decent sized battery to give you plenty of range for a day or night full of deliveries. I also think this is for probably the family with younger kids. If you get that kid rack attachment on the back, your kids will be able to sit there and have something to hold on to, so it makes you feel a little more secure when you're riding, and that they're just not gonna bounce off. Of course, I imagine you wouldn't be riding very fast in the first place, but it'd be a great way and a fun way for families to take their kids to maybe their local park, out for an ice cream, or just a ride like this. I also think this would make like a nice beach cruiser type, you know? Once you get into that, get a comfortable riding position, if you're gonna raise the handlebars up, you just cruise around the beach. Now on the sand, I don't know. I don't have a sandy beach area here to test. But I'm talking about the boardwalks and stuff like that. So you could take down to a boardwalk, maybe with your kids, and just cruise there. Maybe you can stop for a day at the beach. And this as a step through makes it really easy to get on. So if you're older, looking for a cargo type bike, you won't have any issues getting on this bike. All right, let's go see if we can find a decently longer hill we can test this motor out on. Okay, got ourselves a hill here. So this hill is about, a quarter of a mile long. It starts off gradual, and about 3/4 of the way up, it gets steeper, and it ends at a cul-de-sac. So we will do this first run from a dead stop on throttle only and see how it does. Okay. Hey, look at the pretty flowers. Okay, ready? 1, 2, we'll get it to 0, go. Okay. We're not trying to time this, but we're gonna watch the speed, see what it gets up to, and then what it drops to. So we got 16, 17, 18, 19. We are going up. This is the gradual part. 20, 21. So it's doing a good job. 22. Still slowly building. 23. Now it's going to get a little steeper. But as soon as we hit this road right here, it gets much steeper. So we're at 25, 24, starting to drop. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, a little steeper here. You can hear it in the motor. 15, 14, 13, Just under 13 miles an hour. Okay. Now we're going to pedal. We're going to start off in, well, we're going to be in PAS 5, gear 7 to start out. And obviously we'll have to shift down once it gets steeper. But we'll see how far we go before we have to shift to an easier gear. And I am not really pedaling hard. I'm just keeping my legs moving because this is a cadence sensor. We're at 24 and a half. Okay, this is the spot where it gets steeper. Let's see how it does. 23 and a half. 21. Feel more pressure on the pedals now. So I'm going to downshift some, 18 miles an hour. Downshifted to 5. But it's maintaining almost 16 miles an hour. That's pretty good for a 500 watt motor and a 250 pound rider. Now the fun part, coasting down. Yeah, what do we got? 30, 31, 32. All right. So not bad at all as a hill climber. Now, if you're talking about the hills in San Francisco, I don't think so. I think you're going to need like a 2,000 watt motor to get up some of those. But for your regular hills, I think you'll be fine with this bike. All right, let's point this bike back towards home, where I will give you my final thoughts on this first review ride of the Yoto Lion. All right, so we just finished the first ride on the Yoto Lion e-bike, cargo e-bike. And my first impressions are that this is a very well-built bike, a very powerful bike for a 500 watt motor. I don't think you're gonna have any problems carrying cargo. A full-size adult, a couple kids on the back. I think it's just a all-around well-built bike. I mean, you look at the fit and finish, it's just nice. It is really nice. And today we put about 15 miles on it. Did some testing, but we're going to be doing more. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more throttle-only testing, range testing, stuff like that. So stay tuned. All right, so that's it for this first video on the Yoto Lion bike. You have a great week, a great weekend, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.